Welcome to the Live Free, Love Life podcast, where we discuss how to create more freedom so we can love our lives no matter what we're going through. Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Live Free, Love Life podcast. I'm your host, Mindy Neal, and today we are diving into a topic that I know resonates with every single one of us, and that's fear. You know that feeling when fear's got you in its grip, holding you back from the life that you really want. Yeah, I've been there too. We all have, because fear is as universal as breathing. But here's the thing. Unlike breathing, it doesn't have to control our lives. So today we're going to talk about your secret weapon against fear. And no, it's not positive thinking or meditation or even a glass of wine, although I won't judge you if that's your go-to. It's action. Good old-fashioned roll up your sleeves and do it anyway action. So let me paint you a picture. Picture me standing in front of a glass enclosure, heart racing, palms sweating. Inside that closure, a snake. Not just any snake, but one I was about to hold. Now, you need to understand something. I am deathly afraid of snakes. The mere thought of them sends shivers down my spine. But there I was at a reptile show with my kids, about to volunteer to hold one. Why? Because of a little family motto we have. We try everything once. Now, it's not just a cute saying, it is a way of life. It's how I've taught my kids to face their fears head on. And more importantly, it's how I've learned to practice what I preach. So let's talk about fear for a second. It is a funny thing, isn't it? It's hardwired into our primitive brains to keep us safe. Back in the day, it kept us safe from becoming saber-toothed tigers' lunch. But in our modern world, fear often holds us back from growth, joy, and fulfillment. It whispers lies about our capabilities and our worth, keeping us in a comfort zone that is anything but comfortable. So here's something crucial that I really want you to understand. Most people don't even realize they're afraid. They know they're not doing something they want to do, or they're procrastinating, but they often can't put their finger on why. And some people even just label themselves as lazy and move on. But here's the truth. If you are not taking action towards something you say you want, there is a good chance fear is the culprit, even if you haven't been aware of it until now. So think about it right now. Are you putting off starting that business or writing that book, having that difficult conversation? It's easy to chalk it up to being too busy or not having enough time. But dig a little deeper, and you will often find fear lurking beneath the surface. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These sneaky fears can masquerade as procrastination, indecision, or even disinterest. By recognizing these hidden fears, you're taking the first step towards overcoming them. So I'm going to challenge you right now. Take a moment and think about the areas of your life where you're not taking action. And then ask yourself, what am I afraid might happen if I do this? You might be surprised by what you uncover. Now, I've probably told you 1,000 times that the secret to everything is to change your thoughts. But here's why it doesn't actually work with fear, or it doesn't usually work with fear. Your primitive brain doesn't believe you. It thinks you are going to die. Trying to convince it otherwise is like trying to convince a 3-year-old that there isn't a monster under the bed. They are never going to believe you. Positive thinking alone won't get you on that stage to give a speech. Waiting to feel ready? That's like waiting for a terrified 3-year-old to feel ready. You'll probably be waiting forever. And overanalysis? Ever tried convincing a 3-year-old with a list of facts? That is just a one-way ticket to paralysis. Trying to solve fear with thinking doesn't work because your brain doesn't believe it's safe. So then what's the answer? Action. Good old-fashioned roll up your sleeves and do it anyway action. It's not just about moving, it's about moving forward, especially when every fiber of your being is screaming to stay put. So let me give you an example. I have a fear of not being able to breathe. It's not just a mild discomfort, it is a full-blown, heart-pounding fear. Put a blanket over my head and see what happens. So, what did I do? I got scuba certified. Yeah, you heard me. I spent hours sitting in 3 feet of water, telling myself over and over that I could breathe and practicing calming my nervous system. Was it easy? Oh, heck no. Was it worth it? Absolutely. You see, action creates evidence that counters our fearful thoughts. Every time we do the thing we're afraid of, we tell our brain, see, we can do this. We're okay. We're safe. It's like building a library of courage, one experience at a time. It's proving to your brain that you're safe rather than trying to convince it you're safe. But it's not just about the mental benefits. Action has physiological perks too. When we take action, our body releases endorphins, those feel good chemicals that boost our mood and reduce stress. It's like getting a natural high from facing our fears. Now, I'm not saying you need to jump out of a plane tomorrow, although why wouldn't you? The key is to start small. Now, here is a simple action plan to help you get started. Number 1, identify your fear and the action it's preventing. Maybe it's fear of rejection, keeping you from asking for a raise, or fear of failure, stopping you from starting that business. Number 2, choose one small, manageable action. If public speaking terrifies you, maybe it's just saying hello to a stranger today. Okay. Number 3, commit to that action, regardless of how you feel. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the face of fear. Number 4, reflect on the results and celebrate your courage. You did it. Acknowledge your bravery. And number 5, repeat and gradually increase the challenge. Maybe next time you strike up a conversation with that stranger rather than just saying hello. So let me share a story about one of my clients. We'll call her Sarah. Sarah had a crippling fear of failure that was keeping her from pursuing her dream of starting her own bakery. She'd spend hours researching business plans, but never took the first step. So we started small. She committed to baking one new recipe a week and sharing it with friends. Then she set up a small stall at a local farmer's market. Each action built her confidence. Today, Sarah owns a thriving bakery in her hometown, all because she chose action over fear. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but Mindy, you don't understand. My fear is different. It's bigger. I hear you. But in reality, fear is universal. All humans experience it regularly, whether they're aware of it or not. Fear comes in all shapes and sizes. So maybe it's a phobia that's plagued you for years, like my fear of snakes. Or perhaps it's a fear of rejection that's keeping you from putting yourself out there in your personal or professional life. When I started my business, I faced a mountain of fears. Starting a podcast, terrifying. Making videos for social media, panic inducing. Coaching for the first time, coaching in front of people who were evaluating me, switching careers, applying for coaching positions, making offers, going live, teaching classes, speaking at events, being in the spotlight. Each one felt like climbing Everest. I still remember my first video. It was only 2 minutes long, but it felt like the scariest thing I'd ever done. Now, it's no big deal. Why? Because I took action over and over and over again. So let's take a closer look at some of the most common fears. First up, the fear of failure. This is a big one, folks. It is a fear that keeps brilliant ideas locked away, dreams unfulfilled, and potential untapped. But here's the thing. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Every failure is just feedback, a lesson learned, a step closer to where you want to be. Okay? So now let's talk about the fear of judgment and rejection. I have combined these because one of the primary reasons we fear judgment is because we fear rejection. So fear of judgment keeps us from speaking our minds, expressing our true selves, or putting our work out into the world. I remember when I first started sharing my thoughts on social media, the fear of judgment was paralyzing. And it wasn't made up out of nowhere. People did make not very nice comments. Like, what if people disagree? What if they thought I was stupid? What if they thought I was wrong? But here is what I have learned. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. You can't control what others think, but you can control how you react to it. And you can control what you think. And this brings in the fear of rejection. The people who matter, those who truly care about you, will support you. And if they don't, are they really the people that you want around you? Fear of rejection keeps us from asking for that date, applying for that dream job, or sharing our art with the world. But here's a little secret. Rejection isn't about you. It is about the other person, their perceptions, their needs, their circumstances, their past, whatever. And the only way to find the yes is to risk hearing no. So speak your truth, share your art, live authentically. The right people will appreciate you for who you are, and then you will inspire others to do the same. Now let's talk about the fear of the unknown. This fear is particularly sneaky because it can masquerade as practicality or caution. The fear of the unknown is what keeps us in jobs we hate, relationships that no longer serve us, or living in places that don't feel like home. It's the voice that says, better the devil you know than the one that you don't. But here's the thing. The unknown is where all the magic happens. It's where growth, opportunity, and adventure live. Every great story, every remarkable achievement started with someone stepping into the unknown. When I decided to start my own business, the unknown was terrifying. What if I couldn't make it work? What if I made a fool of myself? What if this was a terrible idea? But you know what? Here's what I realized. The known, staying in a job that didn't fulfill me, was actually scarier in the long run. So how do we face this fear? We break it down. We take small steps into the unknown every day. We gather information, we prepare as best we can, and then we leap. Remember, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. The fear of the unknown never completely goes away, and that's okay. The future is always uncertain, but it means that you're constantly growing, constantly pushing your boundaries. Embrace it as a sign that you are living life to its fullest. Okay, now let's talk about something that might sound counterintuitive. The fear of success. Yes, it is a real thing, and it can be just as paralyzing as the fear of failure. It's the fear that if we actually achieve our dreams, our lives will change in ways we can't control. Maybe you're afraid that success will alienate you from family or friends. Perhaps you worry that you won't be able to handle the pressure or the responsibility that comes with success. Or maybe you're scared that once you achieve your goal, you'll realize it wasn't what you wanted after all, or that you still won't be happy because you think the goal is what's going to get you to happy. But here's what I want you to remember. You are capable of handling success. You are worthy of it. And if success brings changes, you have the power to navigate them. Don't let the fear of success keep you from reaching your full potential. Remember, every fear we face is an opportunity for growth, whether it's the fear of the unknown, success, judgment, or any other fear. The antidote remains the same. Action. Take that first step, no matter how small, and watch as your courage grows with each action you take. Okay, and let's not forget about the phobias. We've talked about them a little. These intense, often irrational fears can feel overwhelming, but even phobias can be overcome with consistent, gradual action. There is a reason exposure therapy is talked about. It is a type of action-based treatment, and it has shown remarkable results in treating phobias. And if exposure therapy is too much, do your own smaller version, one tiny action at a time. Now, I know taking action isn't always easy. Our brains are excellent at coming up with excuses. I'm not ready. What if I make a fool of myself? I'll do it tomorrow. But remember this, the perfect moment doesn't exist. You create the perfect moment by taking action. One of my favorite thoughts is the answer to fear is yes. When fear whispers, can you really do this? Say yes. When it asks, are you sure you're ready? Say yes. When it suggests, maybe you should wait, say yes to acting now. Too many people treat fear as a red light. They think that if they feel fear, they're supposed to stop. But I'm here to tell you that fear is actually a green light. Fear shows you that you are on the right path. It means you're stretching your comfort zone, moving towards places and levels that you have never been before. It means you're growing. A life without fear is a life of stagnation, unfulfilling, and frankly, pretty boring. So the next time you feel that fear creeping in, don't see it as a stop sign. See it as a big flashing green light saying, go this way to growth. Embrace it. Thank it for showing up and pointing you in the direction of your dreams. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate fear. It's to learn to take action despite it and eventually because of it. Let fear be your compass, guiding you towards the life you truly want to live. Overcoming fear through action isn't just about conquering individual fears. It's about building an action-oriented mindset that will serve you in all areas of life. It's about becoming the kind of person who faces challenges head on, who sees opportunities where others see obstacles, who gets to experience life at the fullest. The beautiful thing about this approach is the compound effect. Each small action builds momentum. That momentum builds confidence. And that confidence empowers you to take on bigger challenges. Before you know it, you are living a life that your past fearful self could only dream of. I have never said no to an adventure. Skydiving, bungee jumping, rappelling, river rafting, roller coasters. I have done them all. Not because I wasn't afraid, but because I chose action over fear. And each experience has enriched my life in ways I couldn't have imagined. Starting a business, adventure. Changing careers, adventure. Moving to another country, adventure. Learning a new skill, adventure. Speaking on stage in front of thousands, adventure. Anything you're afraid of could just be another adventure. So, my friend, what fear is holding you back right now? What small action can you take today to start breaking free? Remember, you are more powerful than your fears. You have the ability to create the life you want, one action at a time. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few questions to consider. What is one fear that's been holding you back? What is one small, manageable action you could take to start facing it? Think about a time when you took action despite being afraid. How did it feel afterward? What did you learn? How might your life be different if you committed to saying yes to things that scare you for just 1 week? What's your biggest excuse for not taking action? How can you reframe that excuse into a motivation? Who in your life can support you as you start taking brave actions? And how can you enlist their help? Remember this, fear is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. Action is your secret weapon. It is the antidote to fear, the path to growth, and the key to living a life you love. So the next time fear comes knocking, open the door and say, watch this. Then go out and take action. You've got this, my friend. Now go out there and try everything once. Your courage is waiting to be unleashed. As always, live free, love life. Thank you for watching this episode of Live Free, Love Life. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you next time.